Good morning everybody, hope you're all doing well. It's Planespotting, going to be here for the next few hours. It's Wednesday the 10th of December and the first plane up today we're looking at a Dreamliner. It's a Qatar Airways 789 Dreamliner, registration A7BHD, going to Doha. So it's been a bit windy here the last day or so, it's not windy at the moment. It's a bit breezy but nothing too much, but we might get gusts and get some wobbly takeoffs, see what happens. So the aircraft today are taking off on a runway 23 left, landing on 23 right. And the time, it's about 8:10 in the morning. So yeah, I hope you're all having a really nice week. I've been looking at upgrades for my cameras. Got my eye on a 4K 60 frame per second camera, so if things work out well for that, hopefully I should be able to start bringing 4K quality videos in the near future. Just landed is a Swiss Airbus A320 200 from Zurich, registration HBIJQ. And the camera I'm also looking at also does streaming, so yeah, might even be able to do some streaming soon. We'll see what happens. Right, let's have a look over at the airport then. So we'll go left to right. So there's nothing in the engine test bay today. Signature Aviation, a couple of private jets there. In the hangar there's a 777. Just see the wing of it. It's a 777. It's being converted excuse me, from a passenger plane to a freighter. Used to be a Qatar Airways 777. In a previous video I captured it landing, coming into land here at Manchester. Right, it's parked up a couple of Jet 2s. There's a Virgin, don't know if that's an A330 or an A350. Got an A380 in, got an Aer Lingus A330. I'm hoping we'll get to see a military plane. In fact, here it is. So that there is an Airbus 330 MRTT, multi-role tanker and transport. It's Canadian. Just about to see the Canada flag on the back. So this used to be a Kuwait Airlines, I believe, aircraft. They got converted, got sold to Canada. Right, let's have a look then. So the next plane is an EasyJet going to Paris. It's an Airbus A321neo, registration GUZMF. Just holding short of the runway right now. So the weather forecast here at Manchester for today, it says it's going to be dry, which is good. Makes a change from yesterday. Right, just coming to land is an Airbus A380 Cathay Pacific from Hong Kong. Right, making its way to the airport then, we have got looks like an Airbus, it's an Airbus A319-100. It's Eurowings going to Dusseldorf, registration is DAGWV. Just coming into land is an A350, Singapore Airlines. I want to give a shout out to one of my viewers, Steve Cross. Shout out for you for the corrections to the pronunciation of Phuket. I was reading it completely wrong. I called it Phuket and it isn't, it is Phuket. So thank you for the correction. I do appreciate that. It's quite funny as well, but fuck it. Right, let's have a look. We've got a plane leaving. Looks like it's a TUI. TUI 737. So looking just behind where I am now, the sun is just starting to come up, so the lighting condition will improve. Looking at the clouds, it's a bit of a red tinge to the sky. Leftover stormy clouds. You can probably tell by the windsock. There's no limp windsock today. It's definitely a little bit breezy, but it's nothing too bad. Right, anyway, we have got the TUI Boeing 737 MAX 8, which is going to Fuerteventura. Registration is GTUMM. Whilst we wait for this to arrive, if you could do the thing for me, that would be absolutely fantastic. I would appreciate that very, very much indeed. Okay, this is a Ryanair that's going to Dublin, Boeing 737-800, registration EI GXH. just coming into view, we've got an Aer Lingus Airbus A320-200 going to Dublin. Registration is EIDEL. So there's been some news recently regarding Aer Lingus. Apparently they're considering stopping the transatlantic flights from Manchester, which would be a real shame, as we do get quite a few Airbus A330s leaving from Manchester, going across the pond. We'll see how that story develops. This particular aircraft is 20 years old. Okay, this is an Etihad Airways Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's a 787-10 Dreamliner, the biggest one of the three. We don't get lots of these here at Manchester, so it is nice to see them. Usually it's the 8s and 9s that we get. So this Dreamliner is going to be going to Abu Dhabi. And this particular aircraft is 7 years old. Okay, this little plane is going to Hamburg. It's an Airbus A319-100. Registration DAGWC. And Eurowings is part of the Lufthansa group. Just coming to land is a British Airways. It's an Airbus A320 from London Heathrow. Right, this is an ATR 72-500 going to Newquay, operated by DAT. Registration is a SEMDC. It's a 16-year-old aircraft. Right, just making its way onto the runway now is a British Airways Airbus A320-200 going to London Heathrow. Registration is GEUYN. Coming into land then, we've got a Boeing 737-800 Ryanair from Budapest. If you look at the engine, you can see the vertical black line. That's the air brake, reverse thrusters. One of my viewers was asking about that recently. There you go, it's just closed. And just behind the Ryanair, let's give you the little guided tour there. This is the runway viewing park. You can see most of the planes gone. There's a few aircraft in the runway viewing park here at Manchester. It's a great place to view the airfield from. Sort of fairground bit for the kids. There's an Avro RJX there, which was the last commercial airline ever fully manufactured in the UK. It's a big hangar there that's got a Concorde in it. If we look over there, you can just about make out its nose, just about. There's a cafe there as well. And then there's a big viewing area, picnic tables and stuff. There's a Monarch DC-10 cockpit used for meetings. And a bit obscured by that building, just behind it, you'll see the tails. There's a Trident in the background, and also there is the Nimrod as well. So yeah, it's a pretty cool place to go visit. It's well worth going to. Okay, just coming into land is an EasyJet Airbus A320-200 from the Isle of Man. The reverse thrusters on these planes are a different design to the Boeings. Landing just now is a Indigo Dreamliner, a 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Mumbai. We've got two different Ryanairs heading for the runway. Let's see which ones these ones are then. So we've got this one which is going to Rome. It's a 737 MAX 8-200, registration EI-ILA. And this Ryanair is going to Brussels, 737-800, registration EI DPV. making its way onto the runway, we've got an EasyJet Airbus A320-200 going to Geneva, registration OEIJX. This particular aircraft is 8 years old. Right, on the runway now we've got Ryanair 737 MAX 8-200 going to Murcia, registration EIILK. Had a great question from a viewer asking what is the difference between the MAX 8 and the MAX 8-200. The MAX 8-200 has a more condensed seating plan, crams more people on board. So this particular aircraft, it's a new aircraft. It first flew in September. Just thinking it looks very shiny. It's a new addition to the fleet. Another great question I got asked was what's the difference? I mean, how can you visually tell the difference between the older 737s and the MAX series? Which is a great question. The easiest way, if you look at the very back of the aircraft, just behind where the wings are, the bit that points out at the very back of the aircraft, it's called the APU. Got a glimpse of the APU then sticking out the very back. It's actually a third engine. It's got a small jet engine at the back of the aircraft, which is used for things like air conditioning and starting the plane. So on the MAX series, as you just saw on this one, it's got a pointy rear end. On the older 737s, on the old NGs, the 800s, 700s, they've got a short stubby APU, so that is the quickest and easiest way to visually tell them apart. There are some other differences as well, but if you just look at the back of the aircraft, that's how you can quickly tell. Right, we have got a Dreamliner heading for the runway, a Qatar Airways. Okay, so making its way onto the runway now is a Qatar Airways 7879 Dreamliner, which is going to Doha. Registration A7BHU, and this is a new aircraft. It first flew in April 2025. this Jet 2 is going to Paphos, Airbus A321neo. Registration GSUNR. This is another new aircraft. This one first flew in September. Okay, this one is an ATR 72-600 Aer Lingus going to Belfast. It's a 9-year-old aircraft. Registration GCMJJ. Now making its way to the airport is a 25-year-old aircraft. It's an Airbus A319-100. British Airways going to London Heathrow. Right, approaching the runway, we've got a Jet 2 Airbus A321neo going to Tenerife. Registration GSUNG. And this aircraft is 1 year old. Right, now that noisy aircraft has gone, we've got an Airbus A380 Super Jumbo, Emirates going to Dubai. Ten-year-old aircraft. This KLM is a Boeing 737-800. If you look at the APU at the back, I mentioned earlier the difference between the latest models, the Max series, and the older series. This one's short and stubby. This is one of the older NG 800s. Registration PH BCD going to Amsterdam. And just over the top of the airport there, we've got a bit of a rainbow forming. Haven't seen the rainbow for a while. Right, next up then we have got a Ryanair Boeing 737-800 going to Belfast. Registration GRUKG. This is a 17-year-old aircraft. They're doing the final checkouts. parts of the rainbow right in front of me there. Disappearing off into the clouds. Right, this is a Swiss Airbus A320-200 that's going to Zurich, just making its way out onto the runway. Registration HBIJQ, and this is a 28-year-old aircraft. Getting a right mix of aircraft today by age. Quite a few of the old ones and quite a few of the new ones, which is cool. It's a good selection. Right, next up we've got Ryanair Boeing 737-800 going to Budapest. Registration SPRSH. This one's a 7-year-old aircraft. This Jet 2 is going to Kitila. Boeing 737-800. Registration JZBL. This one's a 7-year-old aircraft. this is a Dreamliner that's heading for the runway. It is a TUI Airways 7878 Dreamliner, the smaller of the three different sizes. This one is going to Cancun. Registration GTU II. 10-year-old aircraft and a regular visitor here at Manchester. Okay, this is a Jet 2 going to Budapest. It's an Airbus A321neo, registration GSUNV. It first flew in August this year, so another new aircraft. Right, landing now is a Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-300 arriving from Atlanta. It's a 13-year-old aircraft. Registration GVUFO. Okay, making its way onto the runway now is the TUI 737 MAX 8 going to Espargos. This EasyJet is now this A320 200 going to Jersey. Registration GEZPV. It's an 8-year-old aircraft. Making its way to the runway is a British Airways Airbus A320 200, registration GEUYY, going to London Heathrow. Okay, making its way onto the runway now is a Juneyao Air 7879 Dreamliner going to Shanghai. It's a 5-year-old aircraft. Registration is B226M. And when it turns, you'll see it's in the blossoming China livery. Right, just landing now is an Airbus A320-300 Air France from Paris. Right, this one's a KLM Airbus A321neo arriving from Amsterdam. Right, this one's a Pegasus Airbus A321neo arriving from Istanbul. This one is a Singapore Airlines Airbus A350-900 going to Singapore. It's a year old, this plane. Registration 9VSJI. A question I got asked recently was, how do you visually differentiate between the 900s and the 1000 version of the A350? It's quite easy. If you look at the undercarriage, look at the wheels at the back. On the wheel bogie, the 900s, like this one, will have 4 wheels on each bogie, and the 1000 series has 6. It's a great question. Keep the questions coming. Is there any aviation related questions you'd like me to talk about on the channel? Then do put them in the comments. Right, next up then we've got Jet 2 Airbus A321 Neo that's going to Lanzarote. Registration GSUNS. Another new aircraft, first flew in June this year. We've got another Dreamliner. This one is a TUI 7879 Dreamliner going to Montego Bay. Registration GTUIO. And it's a 6-year-old aircraft. So the Dreamliners come in 3 different sizes. There's the Boeing 787, 8, 9 and 10. So we usually get the 8s and 9s here at Manchester. We sometimes get the 10s. We had one earlier in the video, which was nice to see. And yeah, the Dreamliner is definitely one of my favourite aircraft. So what is your favourite aircraft? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. So from a Dreamliner to a 737-800 TUI. This one's going to Gothenburg. Registration GFDZZ. It first flew back in 2011. Next up, got a Ryanair 737 MAX 8200 going to NOC. Registration 9HVUO. It's a 4-year-old aircraft. Right, approaching the runway, we've got an Aer Lingus Airbus A320-200 going to Dublin. This one's an 18-year-old aircraft, registration EIDVH. Pilots doing the final checkouts. Okay, this is a Finnair Airbus A321-200 going to Helsinki. Registration OHLZG. It's a 12-year-old aircraft. Righty-ho, so we've got a Dreamliner. It's a 787-9 Dreamliner. It's operated by Gulf Air. It's going to Bahrain. Registration is A9CFF, 6-year-old aircraft. we've got a Cathay Pacific Airbus A350-900 going to Hong Kong. Registration BLQC. And this one is a 4-year-old aircraft. So there's a pilot in the jump seat there, behind the main pilot. Okay, so this is a Scandinavian Airbus A320neo, which is going to Copenhagen. Registration EISIB. 8-year-old aircraft. Awesome, get a nice wave there from both the pilots. It's cool when they do that. So the Neo series, for anyone who doesn't know, say like the A320neo or the A321neo, it's the newer version of these jets. It stands for the new engine option. A different engine, slightly different design, and they're basically much more economical to run. I've just noticed that the planes have started taxiing down towards the end of runway 23 right. So I'm guessing that they have gone from dual runway operation to single runway operation, which is cool because we get a different view of the aircraft taking off. Right, taking off now is a TUI 737 MAX 8 going to Sharm el Sheikh. Just arrived as an ATR 72-600 Loganair arriving from the Isle of Man. Okay, this is an EasyJet Airbus A320-200 going to Paris. Okay, just coming into land now is an Airbus A320-200 Vueling arriving from Barcelona. Okay, we have an A380 coming into land, an Emirates from Dubai, 9-year-old aircraft. Okay, this one's a British Airways Airbus A319-100 arriving from London Heathrow. Okay, just landing now, it's an Airbus A320-200 EasyJet from Copenhagen. Okay, taking off now, we've got a Turkish Airlines Airbus A321neo going to Istanbul. Okay, just landing is an Airbus A320-200 EasyJet from Belfast. Right, taking off, we've got a Dreamliner, 787-9 Dreamliner Indigo going to Delhi. Okay, beginning its takeoff run, we've got an Airbus A350 1000 Virgin Atlantic to Orlando. Right, just coming into land now, it's an EasyJet Airbus A321neo from Berlin. Okay, just landing now is a Lufthansa Airbus A320neo from Munich. Right, this one is a Brussels Airlines Airbus A319 going to Brussels. Landing now is an EasyJet Airbus A320 from Prague. Right, so this is a TUI 737 MAX 8 and looks like it's taken off from here at Manchester and it will be returning back to Manchester, so looks like a test run. Okay, this just landing is an EasyJet Airbus A320neo from Barcelona. Right, this one's a KLM Airbus A321neo going to Amsterdam. Right, taking off then is a TAP Express Embraer E190 AR going to Lisbon. landing is a Saudia Dreamliner, 7879 Dreamliner from Jeddah. It's got the 2024 National Day livery. Registration is a HZARB. What's taking off next then is an Icelandair 737 MAX 8 going to Reykjavik. Okay, just coming into land, we've got a Qatar Airways A350 900 arriving from Doha. The majority of the Qatar planes that come here are Dreamliners, so it's nice to get the A350s in. Right, so we've got the fire truck heading over towards the terminal area with its blue light on. Two of them. And in a minute or so we will have the Canadian Air Force plane taking off. It's just completed its taxi, it's at the end of the runway, ready to depart in a minute or so. And just arriving now, we've got a Norwegian 737-800 arriving from Oslo. Not even going to try and pronounce the name of the livery on this one. Right, it's the Canadian Royal Air Force Airbus CC330, registration 33004, the MRTT plane. It's just beginning its takeoff. Quite a rare visitor here at Manchester. Literally just a few minutes ago saying to a fellow spotter here that how great it would be if it took off right in front of the tower, and look at that, it did just that, and off it goes to Prestwick. Right, just landed. We've got an Egypt Airbus A321 Neo, which has just arrived from Cairo. Okay, so just landed. We've got an ITA Airways Airbus A320, which is arriving from Milan. I do like the colour of these planes. It's a nice shade of blue. Right, coming into land now is a TUI 737 MAX 8. This is the same one which took off from Manchester a while ago, and it's returning straight back to Manchester. So when it took off, it first of all flew to Wrexham, then headed south to Abergavenny. It reached Abergavenny, it went west towards Brecon, and north up to the Wirral, and it headed northeast to Wigan, where it started doing a loop around Wigan and St Helens before coming back into land. So yeah, quite an interesting little route it took. I'll stick the flight path it took up on the screen for you to see. So my guess is it's either a training pilot or it's being tested, some maintenance or something maybe. I don't know, but if you do know, please let me know in the comments. Right, taking off then, we've got a Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-300 that's going to New York. Just arriving is a Royal Jordanian Airbus A320 Neo, arriving from Amman. This one's a Loganair ATR 72-600 going to Southampton. Right, just coming into view now is a Scandinavian Airbus A320 Neo that's going to Oslo. This one is an Aer Lingus ATR 72-600 that is going to Belfast. Right, next up then we've got a EasyJet Airbus A320-200 going to Antalya. If you are enjoying it, if you could do one of them for me, that would be amazing. And if you're watching and haven't subscribed, if you could do that as well, please, that would be absolutely amazing. I'd appreciate that very, very much. It's a great way to support the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny, it's absolutely free, and it goes a long way to help support my channel. If anybody would like to buy me a coffee, then the link is in the video description. That would be awesome. Right, so this one is a Norwegian 737-800 which is going to Oslo. This one is Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-300 that's going to Atlanta. This is like the fastest takeoff ever. What's it doing? Right, so it looks like they've rejected the takeoff for some reason. That's interesting. I don't have my radio with me, so I can't listen in to see what's happening. It's a shame. I was really hoping to get this one taking off, but not to worry. Okay, instead of the Dreamliner then as the last plane, have this ITA Airbus A320 that's going to Milan.